I think, yeah, more often than not, people think trucking is very simple, straightforward. You order a parcel, it comes to your door.
Okay.
But there is so much behind the scenes and so many type of trucking, trucking, let's say carriers, which once you start going into the industry.
Okay.
I don't know how familiar you are with that.
No, I'm not familiar. So can you explain to someone who is completely new to trucking industry?
Right. So, so the main there are different types of packages, right? The one that's most familiar is with parcels. These would be the watches or the shoes that you order on Amazon and that come to your home.
Okay.
So here, if you think about it, it's actually a very small package that it serves only the purpose is just for you. So if you think, it's actually very expensive from that perspective. So that's why a lot of companies try to wait and optimize, which is okay in some cases, like letters, you can wait for a few days to get it. But then there are packages and parcels you want next day, with especially, what it's called the Amazon effect.
Right.
You always want it next day, right? So that's why the shipping charges is sometimes premium there.
Okay.
So that would be the parcel.
Okay.
And the next one would be the one that you are probably familiar with is called the truckload. And have you heard about truckload?
Truckload, no. So truckload is it by weight? Yeah. Is it like some tons, or is it by volume? I can think of only these two. So is there any other thing I should know about truckload?
Right. So truckload is almost literally what it describes, which is a truck fully loaded.
Fully loaded, yes.
Yeah, fully loaded truck is a truckload.
Truckload, okay.
And the pricing may vary based on the volume.
Okay.
And in fact, that is a topic of its own, wherein there is.
So it's by volume, not by weight.
It's actually by density too.
Density
right?
too.
So
right.
something could be small but heavy.
Right.
Something like cotton could fill the truck but still.
Right.
Be
it's like
nothing.
someone packing their luggage for an airplane.
Right.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, which is a good analogy. So that would be truckload, wherein the truck only moves when the load is full.
Full. Right.
But more often than not, you would see that is not the case, or that's not needed. For example, if you're moving, you're ordering a washing machine or a big fridge, right? It's not necessarily a parcel,
Okay.
but at the same time, it's not a truckload, right? So that's where LTLs come in,
Okay.
and the LTL is less than truckload, right? So here you would find carriers that move freight between point A to point B, when the truck is not necessarily full, but they have to plan their charges accordingly. It cannot be fixed rate, or it has to be more dynamic, more relevant to what the current market trends are. So that would be LTL. So these would be the high level: the parcel, LTL, and truckload. And of course, there is more varieties. If you think about it, like flatbed, which is like you would see sometimes they move cranes for construction.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not a closed container.
Correct. So it can fit in a
Flatbed.
different shape, so you don't have to enclose it. And then you will also find freight that is sensitive to outside environmental factors. Are you able to think of any?
What is outside environment?
Temperature, let's say.
Right.
So can you think of a freight that's depending on temperature?
Depending on temperature, yeah. Of course, in winter time it's ice or wind speed, reducing the speed of the truck to reach the destination.
Right.
Yeah.
No, these are good points from outside the truck perspective.
Okay.
But there could be freight inside the truck that depends on the temperature.
Oh, freight, the things inside the container?
Right.
Yeah, right. Of course, if it is some food, then it has to be maintained at a particular temperature.
Yeah.
Then it needs refrigeration or maintaining the temperature for some parcels.
Yeah,
package.
You hit the nail on the head. That's exactly the answer. Now if you want to dig deeper, it could also be some chemicals which are temperature sensitive.
Sensitive, right?
But we call that hazardous material.
Okay.
But for the most part, temperature dependent would be food. You can think of all the fried chicken at KFC. It's usually frozen packages that get delivered on trucks. In fact, I often say everything other than a baby is delivered on a truck.
Oh.
So, so those are more deeper categories like reefer or refrigerated trucks, flatbed, hazardous material, and so on. But at a high level, this would cover the trucking types or the carrier types.